Y'all don't want it like Travis Scott McDoubles.
Don't disrespect me looking like someone's auntie.
Don't disrespect me looking like Rakim.
Don't disrespect me looking like 300-pound Slim Shady.
Don't disrespect me looking like a garbage man that didn't show up to work.
Oh, don't disrespect me looking like the night shift for 6 months. Back to back to back to back to back to back to back.
Don't disrespect me looking like Danforth and Pape.
Don't disrespect me looking like Stuart little cousin.
Yo, don't disrespect me looking like Dre Specs B. Nah.
Don't disrespect me looking like Dan Barker.
Oh, I'm Dan Bentham. Get it straight.
No, you Barker, Cat.
Don't disrespect me like you ain't seen your barber in 3 months.
Oh, shit.
Don't disrespect me like yo.
Yeah, don't disrespect me like your barber got a restraining order on your ass, bro.
Don't disrespect me like you can afford a barber, nigga. You know what I mean?
Yo, shout out to my barber, Raheem. Bro. What's poppin'? Raheem the Dream.
Connect the dots. Yeah.
Yo, it's time we head to the top. We cannot settle or stop. Out for the best. Coming up next, we connect the dots.
Did you get the bottle?
Any of that shit? Hey.
Oh, you got slaughtered. Oh,
I did. I got crushed still. I got crushed.
It's okay. It's all fast.
Looking like Pape and Danforth.
Connect the
Yo,
dot.
connect the dot.
Connect the
What's
dot. What up? Wait,
I don't know, man. I can't count sometimes. I be drinking and stuff.
Before this motherfucker starts, big up motherfucking Hollywood in the motherfucking cut.
Hollywood.
Motherfucking Hollywood.
Executive producer. Remember when we used to shoot in the basement, guys? If you guys are watching and you guys have been here from jump, we used to do this in the basement, my basement, and then now we're here. We got an Mr. Executive Producer, Hollywood in the building.
He was one of the last interviews that we did.
And it never got
And it never really got
unreleased. Release the pod.
Yeah.
Release
That was a
the
good
pod.
interview. That was a really good interview.
That was really good. Yeah.
Maybe we'll release that, like.
I think we still have
like
it
the
in
archives.
vault
We have a lot of, some laughing moments, some bloopers.
Oh, bro.
Please, do you still have those?
Oh, man, I forgot about that. Yeah, there were some funny moments.
Oh, my gosh. Yo.
Yeah, we got to pull
That was some
back.
memories there, man.
But yo,
let's get to it, man.
Let's get to it. Welcome. Yo, shout out to everybody, all the people Connect the Dot fans, anybody that's been following the journey from ever. If you're brand new here, Connect the Dot's the movement. We've been doing this for almost 10 years now. We've been rocking as Connect the Dot together. Everyone's been in the music and hip hop industry for a lot longer than that. But we're here. We're back at it. We're trying to get the wheels going. And as you see, we got the podcast a little bit stepped up here, and we're talking about the shows that we're going to be doing, the next tour we're going to be doing. We're talking about a lot of different things. But the first things first, we wanted to make sure that we got the podcast off the ground, because this is like our new foundation of Connect the Dot, I would say, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
You're here. Yeah.
Cheers to that
Cheers
shit.
to that
if you're
shit,
drinking, drink.
oh, why don't I? Oh, I don't
Yeah,
have.
where's your drink?
I put out cups for everybody. You didn't
You
grab
did.
one,
You
man.
did. All right, I'll drink out the bottle. Okay?
Yeah.
Stop
Being a
this.
derelict,
Nah,
man.
I'm just playing, bro. I'm just playing. But yeah, so let's
That's
get
what it's
into
about, man.
it.
Yo, that's what we do, man. We celebrate hip hop, and shout out to hip hop, man.
Right.
50 years.
Happy
50
birthday.
years.
50
Yes,
years.
Yes, the
50
birthday.
years. Everybody's doing their own celebration right now.
Yep.
With the whole 50 years thing, like you see, different people doing different
ESPN, man.
things that
Every day they be talking about that, to be honest, and saying about how hip hop is like tied in with sports and has been, like the beat of sport, especially like basketball, right? Rap music and basketball.
Oh, for sure.
That tie has been, Allen Iverson, hip hop, bringing the hip hop culture, right?
Like Jay-Z and shit.
Yeah.
Jay-Z was big with the Lakers and everyone
LeBron
really.
signed
They were all
with Jay-Z
throwing
at
the
one
rock
point.
up. Right.
Have you guys ever watched that? What was it? The Malice in the Palace?
Of course.
Yeah.
On Netflix.
So it's crazy. Like when you talk about hip hop, right? Remember, like that kind of spawned the whole dress code, and you couldn't wear, you had to show up to games in suits and shit, and
because the guys are coming in.
they're just they're equating hip hop to the malice that was going on and saying it's all about like thug music and guns and stuff, and right, because that was what like 2000, early 2000s, whatever.
Late 90s, I was
or late 90s even. So it's like always hip hop had like this negative word with
undertone,
it, right? This undertone of gangster. And I mean, that's where it's come from, the streets. And, I think obviously, everybody has their different styles and, personifying the culture.
I feel like hip hop started in the streets, definitely. Yeah. But it's not just geared towards street MCs. It's also cool for like motherfuckers that are not street. It's not motherfuckers are welcome to rap. Just stay in the lane. You know what I'm saying? That's why I see it.
Yeah, but the thing about it is, I think it's
everybody
just
getting where you fit in type of thing.
It's the marketing. That's what it is. It's the marketing.
That's what's changed because before, remember there was a time. Don't listen to hip hop. Hip hop's bad for you.
Yeah.
Hip hop is making our children, go away, doing bad things, being negative and all that stuff. And now, as a line that I said in the bar long ago, they use hip hop to sell popping commercials, right?
Mm-hmm. That's crazy.
But then they talk shit about and crack jokes in rehearsals about hip hop, right? Because the same thing they use to sell their products, they'll turn around and say, "Don't let my kid listen to that." Or I'll listen to that jungle music, some shit like that, whatever, right? And that what it used to be before, especially like 15, 20 years ago. Now you see them using hip-hop to sell products, bro.
Yeah. Well, and I was going to say, like...
rappers and rap music.
With the whole...
Politicians, too.
The whole 50th anniversary or happy birthday, hip-hop 50th birthday, whatever you want to call it. It's cool to see the different radio stations and blogs and everything, like, top 50 lists or whatever, just to kind of, like, commemorate. You're seeing, like, people that aren't necessarily in the hip-hop, so... Like things have really changed because nowadays you're seeing like people that are really corporate would say like more of a blue collar that's like their demographic, but they're still kind of repping hip hop, shouting out hip hop and stuff. So they're kind of using it a little bit in a way. Like some people might look at that as bad, but to me, I always look at like any exposure as good. So like whether it's like it's being used in the wrong way or something, but at least they're still shining a good light on it.
Can I say one thing about it?
Yeah.
Like looking in basketball even. E40 has been going to Golden State games from way before they were good.
Right.
They were battling for last place at one time.
Who got the fan as the rapper going to basketball games?
Like Drake, you're saying?
Drake. I'm not hating on Drake, right? I'm just saying that it's been a marriage before that.
I disagree.
I disagree, yeah.
Before, listen, Drake...
Drake's an ambassador for this shit, though. Drake's an actual ambassador for this.
Yeah, but Jay-Z was doing it before.
Jay-Z was doing that from long ago.
Ambassador, no. Nas?
Jay-Z, Drake got the next up. He got the next up.
Yeah, Jay-Z was
Nas was not an ambassador either. Jay-Z was a part owner. That's different. That's a different role.
But actors, like celebrities.
Actors is different. We're talking about hip-hop.
Yeah, but I'm saying, and hip-hop artists were also, like, it's kind of like a...
People used to go to games, but they never got the, like... Obviously, fans who know
social media is different.
I think it's because it's Drake where it's so amplifies. That's what I was just about to say. It's because we're from Toronto, and anything, that's the thing with Toronto. Toronto can be the shittiest team for the next how many years? It's still gonna sell out. You're still gonna have people wanting to come there, true. And Drake is always gonna be connected with like the incoming, like all these markets that come into the city. They're always just gonna be like bringing in money and the revenue and the interest in people going out there and want to see these guys,
it's
right?
It's not hate on Drake. I just tell you how things have changed.
And the thing is, I think it's because we're in Canada. I think it's just because, it's amplified even more because it's Drake. But, like, Drake is, like, worldwide, and he does his thing. And it's like, because Toronto's on that map, you got to kind of give credit to Drake for having his input right now and putting Toronto, like,
I'm not
on that next level, right?
15, 10, 20 years ago, they wouldn't talk about a rapper's involvement with the team in any way. And I was saying, E40 was going to these games from a long time, right? They've been in the front row, and you never.
I don't know, man. I think Jay-Z was right there too. I think there's a lot of rappers like, I know Snoop has been in a lot of games. Yeah. But.
I feel like that's been a thing, but what I was going to say is...
Ice Cube started his own league.
It's the 50th birthday, happy birthday to hip-hop, but you were talking earlier about like a 50 list. Like
so,
top 50 list
Complex released his top 50 New York rappers. So I know that everyone was saying,
P
like,
poor,
the top 50...
P for poor, by the way.
It was shit?
It was fucking garbage.
That's an understatement.
Trash.
That's an understatement. But,
Compost
number
water.
one, Jay-Z... can we agree with that?
Yep.
Number one was Jay-Z?
Number one, Jay-Z.
Oh, sick.
I mean,
I'll roll
can we agree with that? Number 2, Biggie. 3, Nas. 4, Rakim. 5, LL Cool J.
Go top 10.
Sick. I'm not mad at that.
50. Go top 10.
Okay.
Just read the names. You want to discuss them.
50 Cent, Nicki Minaj, DMX, Busta Rhymes, and Karis 1 at 10.
Busta should be closer.
That's not a bad top 10. It's not a bad top 10.
Bus should be way down, like lower a little bit. Though.
I'm not massive on Nicki Minaj being on the list.
I don't know about Nicki Minaj.
I feel like that too.
I'm definitely not feeling the Nicki Minaj thing,
Me
man.
neither. She's not one of the best of all time.
So from that list, like, who do you think? You think that there can be anybody else top 10? Top 10 New York rappers. We're just talking.
Read the list again, because I don't want to say somebody.
So we got Jay, Big, Nas. I think we can kind of all agree.
Yeah, those three.
1, 2, 3.
Can
we say 1, 2, 3?
Whether their numbers are they're gonna top 10.
No, it is number though. Like, you have to talk about number.
Okay,
right?
But I like Jada. I like honestly.
You think
I like
Jada's
Jada.
number one?
No, Jada number 3. Take out Big is my point. That's me.
You're gonna take out Big.
I would.
Big's not for me.
Why, bro? Like I know I like Big. It's not even that. But like,
so who's you putting in your top 3?
Jada, he said.
Oh, Jada.
Just Jada. Yeah,
Jada,
I put
take out-
Jadakiss instead. I'm not saying that Big can't be up in there, but I'm saying it's my top 3. 100% Jada, bro. Look at the longevity of him.
I wouldn't put Big in my top 3.
Really?
But what about Jada? Would you replace with Jadakiss?
Who would you replace him with? That's my question. You're taking
Meth.
out Big.
I was gonna say Method
I'd
Man
say
needs to
Meth.
be in the
You
top
know what?
10.
Meth is 21.
How on this list?
Really?
How we?
Meth is
how-
21.
Just so
That's
we know,
fucking weird.
on
Meth is
this
21.
list,
Yeah.
Ghostface rates higher than Meth and Wu-Tang.
But they're two of my favorites. So
I'm not
care.
gonna argue that. I'm just gonna tell you that. Whatever. But okay,
Wherever
fine.
they,
It's
wherever
fine.
they,
I feel
wherever
like
they
Meth-
land,
They could be in my
they should
top
be
three,
closer
that's for
together
sure.
though. They should be close
They could be my
together.
top-
Right.
I'll tell you
Yeah.
one. Here's an omission. Here's an omission from the
I
top
like Meth
10.
more than
I have an
Ghostface
omission from the top 10.
I love both.
Big
of them,
L.
listen.
Right.
That's an omission from the top 10.
But see him and even like
You
Big.
can say short careers.
That's
But
it.
You can say short
The
careers.
impact
however,
is there.
The impact and the influence.
For sure.
Exactly.
And the influence is there, and you can't
But
you
like-
can't beat that, like hands down.
But like,
Like,
yo,
I feel like Big L influenced Eminem.
I feel
Hollywood,
like
can you pull up the list?
I feel like bar for bar though, Big Pun is better than Biggie. That's mine. You know
I
what I'm saying?
disagree, but okay.
So
Lyrically,
here's
technical
so here's
rapping,
here's the million here's
Big Pun's sick.
the
Better
$1
than
million
Fight me.
I guess.
Because Pun's catalog is shorter than Biggie's too.
That doesn't matter. I'm talking about lyrical.
So here's the $1 million conspiracy
Yeah.
that's happening right now. The person who's not on the list, Lloyd Banks.
But like 50 cents on there, obviously.
50 cents on
Yeah,
there.
50
50
has
cent
to
is
be.
6.
But like Tony
50 has to
Ayo
be.
and
So who's
Young
somebody
Buck
we
and
should
them
take
aren't
off the
on it,
list? So
right?
who's
Well,
somebody-
Young Buck is not a New York rapper.
He's not.
But
He's
Tony
he's
Ayo,
Nashville.
right,
He's
he's
from
from
Nashville.
Georgia.
Tony Ayo's not there.
Nashville, Tennessee.
So who's
yeah.
so who's on the list that should get taken off if Lloyd Banks
Number
is on?
50, Ice Spice.
Fucking Ice Spice, bro.
There. Ice
Put
Spice.
the PLK
Number
on there,
50.
bro. What the fuck?
Cardi
Yeah.
B, 25.
Cardi B
See, I
gotta
don't
go.
really, I don't know, but like, not that like I have anything against like female rappers or anything like that, but like Nicki Minaj.
Remy
what
should be
about,
on there.
Yeah, what
Remy
about Remy
should be on
Ma?
there
What
instead
about
of Cardi.
Eve?
Yeah,
Even
yeah.
isn't Eve from New York?
Even
or
in
no?
New York.
Is
New York,
Is she
Yeah,
from Philly?
right?
No, she's from New York, I think. No.
50 Grace, New
She's
York.
not
She
Philly.
might be from Philly. You might be
She's New
right.
York.
No, Philly.
She's Philly?
Philly?
Oh, she's
Philly.
Philly.
I
She's
think
from
that.
Philly. Oh, my bad.
Eve is Philly. Eve
I
is
said
Philly.
that.
Yo, fucking.
But there's other rappers I would say like, what about Lil Kim?
Lil Kim is on there. I think she was number 12.
Foxy's there? Know what I'm saying?
Okay, hold on. I'll give you the list, bro.
I'm
I
just
know-
saying Nicki
okay.
Minaj, dope for sure, but like
11.
She's like
Prodigy.
I don't want to go through the entire list, but
We won't go through the entire
no,
list.
no,
We'll go up to
yeah.
we'll go up to 25.
Hold on, no, but who was the ones that you were saying? What's the? I remember you were saying there was something outside. You were
Lloyd
saying
Banks should be on. And
Lloyd
Ice Spice
Banks.
Lloyd Banks, Cormega. Where's
Right.
Cormega?
Yeah,
Right.
Cormega's not on that list.
But you know what the crazy thing is? These
we
lists,
got Lil Kim at number 12.
these lists, like
Ghostface
are
at
always
13.
controversial, and it's always like one person's point of view, or like like whatever, like one little circle jerk people's like
I
fucking.
was
top
That
saying-
know
five.
nothing about hip hop though.
As I was saying,
Typically.
I'm not gonna speak on
Yeah.
that.
They had Jada at 16.
See, I'm not gonna say they know nothing about hip hop, but I will say this: I feel that sometimes when you hear these lists,
Yeah.
it's like it's not a good mix of people. And the only thing I'm gonna say is like, bring it back to basketball. If you talk to somebody, they might tell you that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Oscar Robertson is the best they ever saw. And if they saw them, and they saw Michael Jordan, and they saw Kobe, and they saw LeBron, how are you gonna tell them, right? They saw it all, right?
But,
If
like,
you
let's be-
But if you just take somebody from the last, it's just specifically from that era, or specifically from the new era, or specifically from a mid era, then you're just gonna get one perspective. You have to get a melange of a little somebody new, some old generation, some old school, and then create parameters.
But at the end of the day, though, you got to give credit where credit is due. Like, come on, like they have Pop Smoke at 27. I mean, R.I.P. Pop
Rest
Smoke.
in peace, Pop Smoke.
Rest in peace, Pop Smoke. But
yeah.
27, and
what-
Banks isn't
okay,
even on the
so
list,
I'm gonna
brother.
tell you, if Pop Smoke is on there at 27,
The Hunger for
hold on.
More, 1
If-
and 2.
Let me ask you a
all the
quick question.
all the
Quick question.
Is this-
corner
Pieces of my
tapes.
Hold on,
pieces
listen.
of my pain.
Hold on,
Oh,
quick question.
man,
His new
right?
album, bro.
Oh,
Hold on.
his catalog is.
I actually really
so
like
hot.
Banks.
So
Too.
again,
I
if
like
Pop
it a
Smoke
lot,
is
too.
on there
I like
and
that
Lloyd
shit a
Banks
lot.
isn't, who's making that list? A 25-year-old or or a 40-year-old.
That's
But again, it's the
I
marketing,
feel like they're
right?
trying to
It's
appeal to
it's what
everybody.
holds
though.
merit, right?
I feel like they have some. There's probably some middle-aged motherfucker
No,
that's
you
trying
know
to,
what it is, bro?
That's trying to study that study the analytics of what people like, and he's
biggest
trying to
thing-
appeal to
I think it's
everybody.
AI. I think it's AI.
Here's what I'm
They
gonna
put it in an AI generator.
The one thing I was gonna
Possibly.
say, the biggest
I
problem.
mean,
I think
bro,
the biggest problem with these
possibly.
lists is
That'd be the
when
easiest
they-
way to do it. Chat GPT that shit.
Yeah.
I think the
son.
biggest way they do it is when they make these lists, they don't say, "Hey, we have a list of the top something, and this is our criteria." Right? We took these
I'm glad-
4 categories. We weighed this, and this is what we came up with. At least then you could argue, right? If it's record sales, influence, longevity, you know. But they don't do that. They just give you the top 10, top 50, top 100, and this is our list, and that's that.
I'm glad that certain rappers got celebrated.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like a
Prodigy.
horrible list.
Prodigy at 11.
Rest in
I'm
peace,
not.
Prodigy.
I'm not mad at Prodigy at 11 because I think Prodigy for a while, like he was. He held on the game. Like I think he like anytime he was on records, it was like, yo, you're listening to the bars.
This list is
Jada-
definitely better than most of the lists
Jada
I've
at 15,
seen,
I'm not
but-
feeling that. I think
always-
Jada is definitely top 10.
there's always-
He's
top
top 5
10,
dead
top
or
5,
alive, bro.
You
know
give me
what,
top
though?
5.
He's top 5 dead
There's
or
Always
alive.
give me top 5.
There's always
I
gonna
take
be
I take LL Cool
There
J
will
out.
always be omissions and people who were not on it. I'm personally saying there's no sticky fingers on this.
Right,
Yeah,
sticky
there's
fingers
no
is
sticky on
insane,
there.
bro.
I gotta agree.
Big
with
Daddy Kane. I
Fam.
like Big Daddy Kane
Listen.
top 20. I like that.
I
like
gotta
that.
agree with Fam over here though because
Slick Rick over Method Man. I don't know about that.
Is Slick Rick New
No,
York,
no,
isn't he?
Guts doesn't want you to have an opinion. That's his thing. Yeah, I see what's going
What?
on. I'm just playing.
ain't shit, ain't nothing.
Hey,
that.
ain't nothing but a
Ain't
cheap
nothing.
thing, baby. What are you gonna say though?
I don't remember.
So anyways, thinking of 50 years of hip hop.
Yeah.
What was your hip hop moment? What's your favorite moment in hip hop? You could say we're artists and we're involved in the music game as well
I got
here.
this
But you
one.
could say as a fan, you could say also involved in the industry.
To answer your question, my favorite as a fan of hip hop.
All right.
My favorite moments were when I knew a Bone Thug album just dropped. And you know when you can go to HMV.
The
and-
dog is rock is born.
Listen.
It's
Yo, dog,
1999. It's 1999.
listen. Like, you know when HMV used to let you fucking sample the album before you
Hell yeah.
I'm walking
yeah.
flat out. I'm walking by my dolo to be like, yo, can I
listen to
miss? Can I listen to this brand new Bone Thugs and Harmony album, please?
Right.
So the second I hear the intro and I hear the first, better run, red rum, trying to run to get away, but it's just too late. Watch out, whatever. When I heard that shit, I'm like, you know what I'm saying? That rush. You know what I'm saying? I used to love that shit. And then
you're gonna say as an artist, right?
yeah, as an artist, to be real, I got 2. And I'm gonna condense them quick, so I'm not gonna hog this shit. One of them was when we went to the Onyx show and Fred Joe Stark fucking shouted me out on stage and said my name wrong. So I bigged it up. You know what I'm saying?
What did he say?
Shout out my nigga Dro. My nigga Dro right there. My nigga Dro.
All good.
Dro.
I'm like, yo.
I remember that.
I'm in the cut. I'm like, yo, Dre though. It's Dre. No, he's like, Dro.
I remember you
My nigga
yelling
Dro.
too. I remember you yelling.
You were there, no?
Yeah, what's
Yo,
that?
Dro.
It was that,
Smoking Buddha.
is that what it was? I forgot the
Smoking
name,
Buddha.
actually. Yeah.
And obviously, like my top favorite though was kicking it with Freeway. Still, shout out Freeway.
I was
you know
just
what I'm
gonna
saying?
say, yo, shout out to
That's-
Freeway. I was
that's-
just gonna say that if you
yeah,
didn't say
that's
that, I was gonna be like, yo, what about that time that we did that shit with Freeway? I was gonna be like, yo, that was sick.
That's the best. That's
Right.
The Onyx one was funny because I respect Onyx too.
Right.
But the Freeway shit was my favorite. That was my favorite
sick.
shit. You know what
I
I'm saying?
remember. Yo, so to piggyback off him, I'll jump in. Or you got something else?
I'm done, I'm done,
Oh
I'm
no, what I was gonna say is, for me, yo, remember the Up and Smoke tour?
Yeah.
Yo, I was there for that shit too.
went to that?
Yeah?
At Ontario Place and
Bro,
shit.
that was the
went to
coolest
that? I was
thing that
fucking
ever
there. That was
happened,
dope.
bro.
That
To
was fucking dope.
Canadian hip hop at the time.
You went to that?
Like,
Bro.
there was no concerts.
I was like
there
13
no
years
other-
old.
I'm jealous.
I'm jealous. I would love to go to
I was
that.
there
I'm
too.
jealous.
Yo,
I didn't even go to concerts at those times.
shout out DJ James Reddy. DJ James Red Eye or Reddy. Me and him went together. That was my best friend growing up. You know what I'm saying? One of my best friends growing up. We went to that fucking concert. The
Right.
Up and Smoke shit. You
Yeah.
didn't take your life, but I had to.
No. That's what I'm saying. It was that sick. Like,
Yo,
bro,
dog, I remember
If
fucking-
you weren't there, you weren't fucking popping.
Yo, I remember
bro.
Ice Cube did 2 songs, and then Mac 10 grabbed the mic, or whenever Ice Cube went backstage, like, how Ice Cube won't come out to Toronto and do only 2 songs?
Right.
Yo, everybody put your middle finger up and say, fuck you, Ice Cube.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Ice Cube. Yo, that shit was
Bro,
dope.
that was the craziest
That shit was
concert. Like, even
motherfucking
to this
dope.
day, like, I've been to some sick concerts, but that one was the
what I'm saying?
craziest. But for me, like, personally, so when I got to open up for Wu-Tang in Oshawa, like when PJ first brought them out, it was the Wu-Tang Super Show, and fucking we printed a whole bunch of shirts, Wu-Tang shirts, and I was on. This is back when I was more beatboxing than I was rapping.
Okay.
And so I was on stage. I got to beatbox and open up for Wu-Tang,
Yeah.
and it was super. Like the place was absolutely packed. And so we printed a whole bunch of shirts. I think we did like 75 or something shirts. And during the concert, we only sold like 10 or so. And then Wu-Tang's manager, the road manager at the time, came up to us and like tried to G-check us and like, oh, we want to cut and all this kind of stuff. And me and my boy were like, no, we got permission to do this. It had all the artist name inside the Wu symbol, and it was like a sick shirt.
You guys did well.
But we were stressing because we only sold 10 shirts, right? Yeah. And then the show ends. Bro, we sold every single shirt, bro.
After the
show.
Facts,
everybody came up, they all bought it, bro. We cleaned up, man. We made so much money. It was sick. So I'll never forget that.
Shout out to Wu-Tang.
Yeah, that was sick. Shout out to Peter Jackson as well.
Shout out to Peter Jackson.
Put that
Shout
show
out
together.
my boy PJ and fucking it's for the children. Wu-Tang is for the children.
For sure.
Man.
As a fan, man, I'll say this much: who remembers the Extendamix?
Yeah.
That it turned into the mix.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Shout out the mix.
Shout out
bro.
the mix.
Mix.
Shout out Master T.
Shout out Master T. I always see Master T at basketball
Yeah,
games.
Basketball
Master
games,
T,
no
bro.
doubt.
Yeah, I think his son plays. Yeah.
So as a fan, I went cannabis after dropping them second round knockouts and that was coming to extend
that's
the
such a
mix.
sick track.
So he came down and performed that with my homeboy.
He did
Shout out
sell
to
out Cool
Tex.
J.
Yeah.
shout out-
He did sell out Cool J on that one. Yeah.
Shout out to
That was
Tex.
that's a classic diss record, by the
Oh,
way.
100%.
So like he did an
He got
acapella.
Tyson on
No,
it.
he did an
He got Tyson
acapella
to
like.
the intro.
Oh,
He got Tyson to
What
the
a
intro.
sick
Max
track,
said you need
bro.
to
It's
eat.
top- it's top three
eat
best
MC.
diss tracks.
Sure,
Firstborn,
yeah.
good
So then-
corn.
so he came
Said
down.
that one line.
Actually,
You ain't got the skills. You ain't got the skills to eat a
Fire,
nigga
man.
ass like me. Or whatever.
Inferno,
yeah,
lava
yeah,
splash,
yeah.
sonic boom.
Yeah.
Yo, you had to ruin the track.
Anyways,
You better be prepared to finish what you started.
I went down to extend the mix and got a chance to meet him, take a picture with him, and then fast forward about 10, 15 years.
I know what you're saying.
Was able to bring him down, open up for him for a concert, recreate the picture.
Cannabis.
And cannabis.
Okay.
And then even still, not even for my own picture, just because real moment, right? The man took his time out after the show was done and stayed for at least 2.5 hours. Real shit.
Yeah, we were
And
chilling
met-
with him till like all like 4 or 5 in the
and met
morning.
every
Just
person-
every man.
And met every
Drinking
person,
shit.
any person who wanted to meet him, he shook their hand,
No money, no anything.
took a picture with them, everything. And then after that, still was outside with us who promoted the show and brought him down for like 45 minutes till his manager was like, it's like 4:45 in the morning. Okay,
Just
we
this
gotta go,
girl.
we gotta go. Right? But it's just, you know,
That's nasty.
and that was,
I
and,
rate that
and,
shit,
and,
I rate
and
that.
juxtaposing that with other, you know, artists, I won't say no names, who charge $50 just to meet. That was a great, you know what I'm saying? That was a great
Oh
experience.
no!
Shots fired.
Let's get drunk
Trust me.
and fuck for sure.
Anyways, as a part of, you know, the hip hop industry, as an artist, I gotta say, bringing my favorite artist to Scarborough.
Who's that?
Redman. Redman.
Funk Dr.
remember
Spot.
At
I didn't go to that
Rockpile
one.
East
Yeah.
is because I was able to do it. Tell
Shout out
people
Rockpile
I know.
East,
Yeah, no. Shout out Rockpile East. Two great shows. That and the Ghostface show. You know
Rest
what
in
I'm
peace,
saying?
Rumors.
But was able to bring
what's
him
his
down
name?
in
Matthew
my hood.
Almeida?
You know what I'm
Yeah,
trying to say?
yeah, Almeida.
Yeah.
Shout out Matthew Almeida, yo.
No
That-
doubt. Bring him
yeah.
in my
A lot
hood.
of
Tell
shows,
people.
bro.
And even the tracks we were doing, just the moment our performance felt like a rock star, bro. Trust me,
Yeah,
rock
that's
star.
so
Real
cool,
shit.
bro.
No
For sure,
doubt. So that
for
was
sure.
those are mine, man.
For
Shout out
sure.
to 50,
Man.
shout out to hip hop.
And it's hard
50
to
years.
like pick certain times. There's so
There's so
things that
many,
happen,
man. There's so many
things
for
that
me,
happen.
man.
think, yeah.
There's so many for me. Like as a fan, man, there's one that kind of stands out for me, and that was what was it? The one can't remember what it was called. The one with Nas and Damian Marley.
Rock the bells.
Rock the Bells.
Rock the bells.
Yeah, Rock the Bells. Like that was just a surreal moment, right? Like just
At most
you
of the
have
theater.
yeah. So it's like you had like maybe like 20 MCs, you know, MOP, Slaughterhouse, RZA, KRS One, High Tech, Talib Kweli, Mos Def,
Strange music guy. What's his name?
Tech Nine.
Nine.
Yeah, Tech
Shout-
Nine.
Yo,
shout
You
out
had,
Tech Nine, bro.
What's his name? If I get older, I will
Oh,
be
yeah,
stronger.
K-Nine.
K-Nine there
right.
before before he blew
Yes,
up with
before he
Waving
blew up,
Flag.
right.
What is this? What was
This is Rock the Bells.
Like 20,
Bro,
And Nas and Damian Marley were the fucking.
Kanan had music on FIFA, bro, on the FIFA game. He made bread, bro.
And that was right before the whole waving flag. Like it was like he was just. I can't remember. He had that song, the Ghetto Women in the Ghetto. Right? He did that song, right?
I remember that shit. I think so.
I don't know if he did that song.
Was it him or Akon?
Or was it Akon? No, that was Akon. My bad.
Yeah, that sounded like an Akon track. Yeah.
I think he was on the strength of the waving flag, but it hadn't.
It was Akon.
No, it was Akon. My bad.
It was the strength
Yo,
of
there's another song that he did.
Didn't get that big at that time yet, but anyways, whatever.
I can't remember. Anyways, it was before like the waving flag situation, whatever. But that was just surreal, and it was like when it really hit for me. It was two moments when it really hit for me because I was fucking high and drunk. Was the first one was when Talib and Mos Def came out and they did the Black Star tune.
Yeah,
Don't
right.
fuck with my boy like that.
So, I know. Yeah. When they came out and they did Respiration.
That's funny.
Right, and they had High Tech out there. Yo, it was just a surreal moment. Like I was so high, I was just like, yo, I can't believe I'm like watching this song right now. It'd be sick if like Common comes out like out of nowhere, but no, that didn't happen. But and then the second part that was sick about it was so for Damian Marley's set, or for both of them actually, because they would like perform a bit, and he would perform a bit, and they go back and forth. They had a guy waving the Jamaican flag. The whole time. The whole time.
Jamaican on one side and Rastafari on one side.
The whole time.
The whole
waving.
and it's a big flag, like
big
10
flag.
feet.
The whole
Who
time.
was performing?
Nas and Damian Marley.
This is when they had this big ass flag, yo.
Big flag,
the whole time he did not stop. It was like not a moment where he stopped doing this. It was crazy, right?
Running back and forth, dreads flying in the air, bro. Trust me.
But as an artist, yo, honestly, there's obviously the Scarborough moments with like Redman and Ghostface. But for me, was like when we opened up for Waka Flocka.
At the fucking Phoenix.
At the Phoenix.
I was supposed to be there that night.
But you know why? It was because like that was when we like
that
was when we just formed THC.
Yo, shout out THC, man.
Right? That's when we first formed the clique.
Shout out Headcrab.
And like we did that
Source
concert
and Ratty,
and we
don't
did
know.
the Sean Price concert.
Rest
But
in
I
peace,
think we
Sean.
did that concert first. Right, so this was the first time THC was
concert.
officially like together, and so like our first official show was Waka Flocka.
Wow.
Right, and it was one of those ones where it's like you know our content. We don't really go on a Waka Flocka kind of like vibe kind of thing, whatever. So like I didn't know how like the ticket sales were gonna go, bro. They started out slow,
Just
but
like you
then
said with
it started out slow, but then like near like maybe like
2-3 days out,
like 2 days. Even the date of the show, like hotcakes. I'm asking Almeida, yo, I need 10 more. Gone.
The day
yo,
of
I
the
need
show.
10.
The day
I
of
need
the
another
show,
10. Man, like it was crazy, right? So we got on at like a nice prime time spot, and the place was packed. Like I didn't know how many people were like fans of Waka Flocka.
Right. Yeah.
Bro, came on, and it was like it was a vibe, bro. Crowd was in it. It was like we were the show, bro.
Yo, shout out to Waka Flocka.
And like, yo, packed to the tits, like fucking Phoenix. You know, everyone's been at Phoenix.
We did a music video for Waka Flocka. Like that was one of our first celebrity.
Oh, with
music
PJ.
videos with PJ.
Yeah.
Mansion and shit.
And that's when I actually
The
like
Havana track or whatever it was.
Yeah, and like I kind of like obviously I knew a little bit about Waka before that, but then like after that it was like okay, I started looking a little bit.
Yo, shout out to
more.
Lucas. You still talk to Lucas?
I haven't talked to Lucas in a while,
Really?
bro.
Lucas!
Lucas had a baby and everything.
I know, man.
Shout out to Lucas, man.
Shout out to Lucas.
Shout
That
out
was
to
a good moment.
Lucas.
Lucas, he trust me, yo. That video he did for Jean Claire, you and Lucas.
that was hard.
For my city,
My city.
yo, you guys did that proper. You know why I always rate you for that? Is because fucking Jean Claire forgot his lyrics on the stage.
Oh my god.
And he like,
Bro, I ain't trying to call out
getting
Shock
cold in
there.
here. It's getting cold in here.
I'm not trying to talk.
Getting
Yo,
cold in
but
but you masked that proper.
yeah. Thank you. I had his back. Yo, Shock
Shouts to
Claire.
Shock Claire, man.
Yo,
Shouts to
Shock
Shock.
Claire, if you're watching this, just know I had your back.
Yeah,
you won't
man.
remember.
It's all good.
You, there's no way you'll remember this.
I'm actually hosting in Shock Claire show August 26th.
Nice.
Sell
And-
plugs.
and,
And Barry.
that's
Shouts to
sick.
Raw Dog, you know?
But yeah, bro.
I heard about that.
So many good moments in hip hop, like even like just the connect the dots stuff that we've done. From like forget about the celebrity stuff. The celebrity stuff is always great.
Shout out DJ Vincey Prince. He does not fuck around with his breakfast.
For sure.
Since we're talking about connect the dot shit,
Yeah.
that's
I-
one of the
I
motherfucking
think the
Tour moments.
DJs
Shout out my brother Vincey Prince.
I think the DJs don't get enough credit.
No, they
Never.
fucking don't, bro.
Never.
They
A
don't
party
get
is
enough
not a party without a fucking DJ, bro.
You gotta give out.
Y'all
You gotta
know
get.
that.
You gotta give props if you're gonna go local. You gotta give props to guys like Vincey Prince. You gotta give props to guys like Mike Stone. Who's been in
Yeah,
the game.
shout out Mike Stone.
Mike Stone has been
Shout out
around
Mike
for a
Stone, shout out
minute,
Mike
right?
Don't know.
You know what I'm saying?
Shout out DJ Merciless.
You know, Merciless.
Merciless
You
is
gotta give props to DJ Merciless.
Yeah, bro. He's a sick dude. He's
Yeah,
a real
he's a
DJ.
legend.
DJ Law.
Yeah,
Shout out DJ Law, though.
DJ Law for sure.
DJ Law was the first DJ that ever like scratched up any of my music.
Bro, there's
Yeah.
so much of you DJs that I respect, bro. I respect a lot of you motherfucking
Drew Live.
DJs.
I know
Drew
Drew
Live.
Live. Drew Live is doing his thing
Live.
still.
Vam.
You know, shouts to Drew Live. Like he's always, come through for the red carpet treatment
Rest in peace,
events.
late night vibes.
DJ Griff, shout out DJ Griff, you're doing his thing. DJ Griff is doing his thing.
DJ Dames Nellis. Dames Nellis, he's now working with Virgin.
Yeah.
On the
Where's
same
he?
tip-
Where's he working?
Shout
at?
out Tick
Virgin Radio.
Tactics. How the
Good for
fuck
him,
am I
man.
forgetting my homeboy Tick
on the same
Tactics
tip of
though?
hip-hop, I know it's not it's
Hey, yo,
artist
Tick
always dead
Tactics.
right now, right? But
Big up.
in the scope of hip hop, you know what I'm saying? Street art
Hey,
is a part of
talk on the
it.
mic,
Street
bro.
art is a part of it. You know what I'm trying to say? So it's like big up to the airbrush people. You know what I'm saying? The man who did graffiti and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't know any names stuff like that, but I remember at one time it was really hot. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah,
Airbrushing
the taggers
and even
and
graffiti, the
airbrushers
taggers.
and
Trust me,
all that,
shit that I
yeah.
can't do. Men who make our graffiti, graphic designs and logos and shit.
How do they
You know what I'm
get
saying?
up to
Trust
the
me.
top?
Yo, we're
do you
talking
mean
about
that shit? Like
if
the
we're
top
talking about
buildings?
graphic artists, you cannot not shout
Like
out
when they get
Richie
to the top of the
Dolo.
building, you see those top of buildings that have graffiti on it.
Yo,
A lot of it is they're
Listen,
hanging,
hold
hanging
on, brothers.
Uh.
Man, talked about graphic artists. You cannot not shout out Richie Dolo though. That's the guy,
Yeah.
bro.
For sure.
Yo,
Takes care
of
bro,
them.
listen, you guys all took Richie Dolo from me. I had him first. But
You
listen.
put me on. I'm not lying. You put me
Nah,
on.
it's all
Shout out
good.
Richie Dolo.
Big shout out to Richie Dolo.
I'm
But
saying a lot of people
I
don't like
wanted
the
to
guy.
bring it
Big
up.
Caesar does good stuff, but people don't like him.
Yo,
But, you know what I'm
easy,
saying?
easy
He
now.
does.
Easy on the name drop. No, I'm just nobody. But yo, listen.
Delete that.
Who?
Yeah.
I didn't hear that. Who?
We're about to segue.
No, I'm not deleting.
Segue.
Who are you talking about? Hold on,
Segue.
don't segue. Who you talking about?
That Big Caesar guy. He's good. He's good with graphics and shit.
Big squeeze.
All right, let's segue, bro.
Yeah, okay, now we can segue.
Let's segue because this guy doesn't want to talk about that.
Big squeezer.
Stop this, man.
Gotta squeeze the
Caesar's
dollars out of
proper.
you.
I didn't even mean to
yeah.
diss nobody. I was trying to give a shout out and
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
But
Well,
don't
I
delete
told you to
this.
leave it. I told you to segue. No one wanted to segue.
All right.
I don't know
No,
what I'm saying.
let's get from some uncomfortable news, some more uncomfortable news. You know what I'm
Okay.
trying to say? What happened with our homeboy Tory Lanez there? You know what I'm trying to say?
Oh,
10 years, bro.
Segue. I like the segue.
10
That was a good
years,
segue.
bro.
10 years.
10 years, bro. Now listen, I don't know the whole full parameters of the story, but I will say this. From what I heard in the sentencing that he was, in their words, antagonizing Megan online and stuff like that since the issues. To me, if you ask me, it seems like he was fucking around with a gun, and nobody should ever fuck around with a gun, especially with people you like. He's fucking around with a gun, and you heard about that shit back in the day, like, oh, dance, boy, shoot by their foot, whatever.
You don't do that to a fucking girl though.
You don't do it to anybody. It's with real bullets. Come on, you don't do that to anybody, right?
Stupid.
And I personally, what I think, this is just my opinion. I think that fucking around and actually hit her, right? But then because she's not crippled, she can still walk. He's like, yo, just allow that. And she's like, nah. Like, yeah, I got shot. I went through trauma. I got scarred and shit like that. I'm not gonna be the same. And yeah, at the end of the day, the man's doing the time, bro.
It's
Nah,
a tough
I think it's bigger than that, bro.
I'm gonna keep my mouth shut.
He's doing the time, bro.
Yeah.
I think it's bigger than that, man.
I feel bad for the guy, but at the same time, like for me, like I have a daughter, right? So like if anybody did that like around my daughter, like I'd be obviously upset, right? So none of us were there. We can't, say what happened and what didn't happen, but I did see the video footage and like it looks like he was just wilding out. Like, not to say that he's the one who shot the bullet or anything, but like he looked like he was the motherfucker.
Oh, wait a minute. There's video footage?
There's video
All right.
footage.
And
I
have
see
you
none
have you
of
heard
that
his statement? Have
Show
you heard,
me that.
Have you
I
heard the
don't know.
statement
I
he
didn't
made?
see that.
Have you heard the statement?
I
he
saw
made?
this. I saw the statement.
And the statement to me, it sounded like Kobe in
Can
Colorado.
we see the video footage?
If you
Right.
remember that one.
Yeah.
The
Which
Kobe
one?
Colorado statement.
Yeah.
Oh, he didn't do it, but the statement sound like
He
the
did
statement
do it.
sound like I did do it.
But this was like she said he did it. Video footage makes it look like he did it.
And then his statement, his own personal
and then his
statement.
own personal statement kind
To
of
the
put,
judge
and
at
then his
sentencing,
apology. But
right?
he even said after, he's like, I didn't apologize. I'm not admitting to the crime. I'm not apologizing for the crime. I'm apologizing for the scenario. Meaning that he was a part of the scenario and he did always kind of maintain his innocence, but he always maintained the fact that somebody else that was there did do that. Because obviously somebody did it, right? But he's saying that it was the girl or whatever, right? So
yeah, they were saying it was her friend, next friend.
Yeah.
And even there was even a witness that said he was in the car still when the shots went off. And it's, you know what I'm saying, whatever. But
hard to say, but was he the fall guy or was he not the fall guy? Who knows?
Might have
But
been.
I don't know, man. I think
Might have been.
you know what? It's not to say that he shouldn't be punished, but 10 years.
Yeah, it's almost like
I think that's like a little excessive in my opinion.
I feel like they need to have like better proof than what they had, but like as you can see there, she's like walking off and there's like blood splats. Like, so she was obviously hit more than just a little bit. I know everyone's saying like she didn't get shot directly in the foot per se, but like as she's walking, she's bleeding that much that it's leaving like basically a small puddle. Like that was a serious wound.
Well, even if the fragment, right? And here's the thing: injury. What about the trauma?
Yeah, 100%.
If there's somebody you were supposed to be, I'm not gonna say it's him. Whoever you were with that you trusted at the time, if somebody's busting at you and you get hit, like
that's some wild boy shit.
But again though, like
shit,
I mean, we weren't there.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? And if you're gonna go off of the case, and if you're gonna go off of like the evidence kind of presented, I feel like the prosecution didn't really have a strong case. I think it was a lot of circumstantial shit.
But the thing
you know
is,
what I'm saying?
the circumstances led up to
there's a lot of circumstantial shit. Yes,
but if you look at it from their point of view, it looks like he did it, and I don't even think he did.
But for 10 years though,
no.
there's people that like do worse and get 10 years.
Like
I'm not saying that like
agreed.
he's innocent per se.
Right.
We don't know, but we can't say if he's innocent. Obviously, he was a part of a situation.
Even if it was his gun, that's
obviously bad. Megan's friend somehow was involved.
Right.
Somehow situation.
Yeah.
Like, I think they're all fucked up. I think they all got drunk.
Yeah.
And I think Megan got in her feelings about the whole Kylie Jenner situation. I think it just kind of spilled out from there, and then just everybody just got sloppy.
My thing is,
but I think at the end of
it was his gun though. Like he's gonna get something blame, right? Like so, and I think like the way they are in the States too, and he's Canadian and he's in the States doing this. Plus he's been like caught up before out there. Like 10 years really isn't that crazy.
10 years is a long time, but I'll say this:
it is a long time.
To draw a parallel, right? There's people who have done things that are similar, even worse. If you pull up Henry Ruggs Jr., player for the Las Vegas Raiders, I think it was drunken vehicular manslaughter, got either the same sentence or less, right? Henry Ruggs Jr. So I mean, the whole point is to say that sometimes these sentences are arbitrary, but I believe for this situation, like he got a lot of time, especially when you consider he never got bail, so he's been in jail since.
Which is going into his thing because like that's dead time.
Yeah, it's dead time, right?
So I think he'll be out in way less than 10 years. Like I think he's gonna be out in like 6 years.
Yeah, but
I don't know though, man. Like I said, I think it's just the prosecution I was following the case to a point, but for the most part, from what I've seen, I feel it was a lot of circumstantial type of evidence. I think it wasn't a slam dunk for the prosecution. They didn't really present a good case.
Agreed.
I think you could have easily had a mistrial, or you could have easily had a not guilty, with all the evidence that was kind of presented. But I think the punishment is kind of excessive.
So here's my question.
For a 10-year, and you think about it though. There's a lot of you could say there's a back history, backstory, Rock Nation. Mm-hmm. The situation with that, and then Tory being independent and not being signed with a label, and a lot of that issue as well, right? But I mean, I think though, like you got to look at like the whole situation at hand, and kind of, I think Tory was just kind of a product of just like circumstances. They had to give him those many years. They had to give him that much time to kind of prove a point that we stand against. Spousal abuse and women abuse.
My question is if there was raw video that showed him actually shoot the gun, right? Do you think 10 years is enough time, or do you think he should have got more? What do you think?
Listen,
that's a hard.
I'll tell you this. Because there is. If I think with the scenario that I played out, I feel if it's like that, first thing I say, you're not supposed to play with guns, man. It's supposed to be people you care about, right? So even though you didn't go out there to try to hurt her, you did. And even if you didn't hurt her physically, you hurt her emotionally and stuff like that. So,
but I mean, she did get hurt physically.
And she did get hurt physically, right? So, like, how much you want to diminish that? So, I'm not going to speak on it. To answer your question directly, if we saw a video of him shooting the gun directly doing that, 10 years would be enough for me.
Yeah, I think 10 years is the right amount of time. Because it's not like he wasn't doing it aggressively. He wasn't angry with it. Mm-hmm. It seemed like it was more of a joking manner. Yeah. So I mean, but anyways, I just thought I'd throw the hypothetical. I think
it's just kind of a unfortunate situation for everybody, and
it's a lesson
I don't think anyone's career is going to be the same after this per se. You know,
100%.
I mean, Megan's career. I mean, a lot of people. I mean, you know what's surprising? I don't know if you guys know this. That apparently the judge had like something like over 50 letters of.
Right, people that were
like
Tory,
for Tory.
yeah.
And one of the people that had sent a letter was Iggy Azalea.
For sure. He had a lot of celebrities. There were a lot of celebrities.
Yeah. And, you know, being she's a woman and, you know, you see that. I mean, coming from somebody of that celebrity status, I'm not saying Iggy's a influential member like that, but I mean, she's got status.
They're free Tory Lanez.
But their character statements,
It's free
right?
Tory
Their character
Lanez.
statements.
I'd say it's still,
it's
still a free Tory Lanez.
You know, it's sad that like they kind of wrote off the dude like that, man, because you know, like Tory, I think was on a level. I think you had Drake, and then you had Tory Lanez that was like not here, but he's like here.
But yo,
you know what I mean? Like he's not.
Speaking about Drake, it's funny because there's some shit that's been going on with Drake. There's been some crazy shit that's going on with Drake. And it's like random. And like if you haven't been paying attention to the internet, you'll miss it. Like if you blinked, you missed it.
I was like fucking like top quarterback with that.
Yeah, I caught that. I was like Hail Mary play. I got you. End zone.
And they're giving themselves props, guy. You want to patch stuff on the back? Barry Horowitz, man.
Shut up, bro. Shut the fuck up, bro. Shut the fuck up.
Barry Horowitz, guy.
Shut the fuck up,
Guys,
bro.
don't know about this. You don't know about this, I don't think. I don't think you know about this shit. So Drake, there's this girl, Bobby. Okay, Bobby Altoff, I think is her name, right? And so she's like a TikToker or whatever, and then all of a sudden she made this podcast out of nowhere, and then
like her, right?
The podcast went from like some Funny Marco guy. You guys know Funny Marco? He's like a comedian guy. He's hilarious.
Yep.
So they
love Funny Marco.
You ever seen Between Two Ferns?
No.
It's like a podcast with like Al Galifianakis or whatever, and he's sitting there and he's like talking to like it'd be Jerry Seinfeld or like Nicki Minaj, and it's super awkward.
Okay.
He's like, so like, how long have you had an acting coach for or something? And then the person's like, what do you mean? I don't have an acting coach. Anyways, like disrespectful.
Yeah.
So that's what she does. She has like a weird like gimmick to her like podcast.
Yeah.
So anyways, she had fucking Funny Marco on. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, Drake is on her podcast next. She comes out of absolutely nowhere. She does 2 podcasts. The third one's Funny Marco. Then the next one's like Drake. Right? So everyone's like, what the fuck? This is crazy. Where'd this girl come from? Right?
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden, her shit goes viral. Then all of a sudden, Lil Yachty's on it. Then Offset and Mark Cuban. And all of a sudden, she's got like basically like #1 podcast out of nowhere, right? And then all of a sudden, on the podcast, so she does a podcast with Drake, and she's on a bed with Drake.
Yeah,
like that's how
I remember that. Yeah, I watched that.
Bobby Altoff girl.
Yeah, okay. And she's on the bed with Drake.
It's official.
No, that's just like
the podcast
is official. So then, anyway, so they do the podcast, and Drake's like trying to swerve on her the whole time. Like it's kind of funny, like the way he's doing it.
But she's like just very awkward in like like how she operates, right? Okay. It's like that's kind of it's kind of like a weird comedy type of sentence, right? But it's funny, right?
She's got her moments. It's got its moments.
It's meant to be funny, right? It's
like a satire almost. And then so then from there, Drake says to her on the podcast, oh, you got to come to my show this like so-and-so this next day, right? So anyway, she goes on, she does a few more podcasts, Yachty, this person, that person. Then there's clips of her at Drake's show. And then like the day after the Drake show, the podcast with Drake comes down. All the clips with Drake come off the internet. And everyone's going like, what the fuck, blah, 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 blah. And then the day after that, all of a sudden someone's like, Bobby Altoff and Drake had sex. Her and her husband divorced, like some crazy drama. So and then all of a sudden, yo, bro, I'm telling, like out of nowhere, I'm telling, like that's what I'm saying. If you blinked, you missed it because everything happened so fast.
Really.
And then all of a sudden, she got Drake on it, and then she's at his concert, and then all of a sudden, she deletes the podcast.
Wow.
Bro,
so what's
the controversy is that so she was married and has kids or whatever. She goes on the podcast. Like he's trying to swerve on her, and then he goes and then all of a sudden it comes down. So everyone's just like, no one knows what the fuck's going on right now. Just happened. So people are saying it's a publicity stunt. They're saying, oh, maybe it got ripped down because publicity stunt. They're trying to hype up something else. And then other people are saying like, yo, like something must have actually happened like behind the scenes for them to like actually. I can't even read.
The one thing I will say is, just hearing the whole story from you explaining it, it does seem even if they had relations, why did all the media come down?
Right.
Now, the media comes down, if you ask me, if like maybe some kind of allegation is made, something like that, in a legal manner. But if it's not, If it's just like, you cheated on me, he said, she said,
right.
yeah, right? Then that's kind of the fishy part, whatever, right? I'm just wondering why all the media came down.
Well, that's
and why the podcast is canceled. Like,
That's right.
Yeah.
The podcast disappears and
Yeah.
all the short clips disappear.
Yeah.
And that podcast went viral. Like it got like millions of views, right?
Yeah, I remember that. I remember when he was on the bed with her, and
But that's her
she
her
was
setup.
doing her
Like,
thing, yeah.
That's how she sets up her podcast, correct? She sets up, like, maybe that's her setup. How our setup is on this white table, her setup is on the bed. No?
What's that?
How our setup is on this white table, we sit around this white table. Her
Right.
podcast is she sits on a bed with the. Is that how?
That was only with Drake.
Or only with Drake?
Yeah.
Oh.
So something about I did not want to do this podcast in the first place, and now there's so much negativity from it. I'm gonna leave it alone after this, but this is blah blah blah. That's between Dave Portnoy. So she went on the Dave Portnoy show and she said all this stuff, but she was in there right there. I did not want to do the podcast. She's talking about Dave Portnoy's podcast, not the Drake podcast. So that's where a lot of people got that twisted too. I've been following this shit because like I saw the funny Marco one. The clip like popped up while I was scrolling one day, and I thought it was the funniest shit ever. So I watched the full podcast and I was laughing the whole time. It was so funny. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Drake's on it. Drake's not on any podcast.
Right.
So, bro,
Right, you're right about
I
that.
watched that, and like Drake's hilarious in the podcast. He's like swerving on her the whole time.
the whole time.
It's so jokes. And then all of a sudden, all this shit happened. But, anyways, needless to say, we went from Tory Lanez negative story. Now we're on Drake. Drake's slapping this girl from TikTok, and it's pretty funny what's going on there. But I don't know if he actually is or he isn't. But I'm just gonna say at this point, he did.
You think
Yo,
so?
listen, if he wants to get in, listen, let the man get in and allow the
right.
man, bro.
I'm not even, listen, I'm
What
not
you
even
bother the man for,
I'm not
bro?
hating on
Home record
Yo,
or not?
Camacho, I'm not hating on the man because listen, this is Drake, eh? Let me say it one more
So
time.
what, bro? If the man wants to fuck the thing,
I don't mean
fuck
it
the
like
thing,
you don't
B.
understand my perspective. I'm saying this is Drake.
know
Gal
what I'm
never
saying?
throwing. Didn't you see the gal throw her bra
That's what I'm
Drake
looking at it.
Yeah,
the other
size
day?
F.
And she got
then
a
she got the
Playboy.
Playboy deal.
Okay, so hey man, maybe messing with Drake after the thing with his.
Oh, looking for a
thing
come
out,
up.
Came out the thing whatever. I don't know. Like messing with Drake is a come up.
Say the things are looking for
Messing
a
with Drake is a
come
come up. It's
That's
good for your
right.
career.
That's what's
Remember that, ladies. I'm just saying.
Remember that, ladies. For all of our
saying.
female watchers, all three
Trust
of
me.
you.
They're like, oh, we just gotta mess with Drake.
Hey
That's
man,
it.
listen. Check his track history. Yo. Don't take my word for it.
So we're not doing any reviews this week because we don't have reviews. We didn't get that organized today. We kind of dropped the ball there, but this will be interesting to see if people actually watch us for our banter or if you're just watching
Can I
for
throw
the
an idea out there?
goddamn
Can I throw an idea out
reviews.
there?
Sure.
For the people who didn't get their reviews, then can we do maybe a half an hour just a review show? Not right now.
Oh, the next one.
Yeah.
Yeah, the next show should be just
add
reviews. Is what
not
he's saying?
the next one. We can add in a half an hour review show for.
Yo, listen.
You don't have
Listen.
reviews from the old link?
That's what I was saying,
Bro,
but y'all,
old
I
link.
don't know.
You
That's what I
guys want me to
said
stay for
before.
a half hour and try to find the old link?
We're not doing that anymore. It's done now.
I mean, so I think you know what, we'll save it for next time. This was a good
Cups up.
podcast. We got a lot of things. 50th anniversary, 50th birthday hip hop podcast. Happy birthday, guys!
No doubt.
Yeah, for
Happy
sure.
birthday, hip hop, man. Yo, thank you, hip hop, man. Trust me, without you, I don't know where I'd be, man. Trust me, many, trust me, lonely nights, whatever, spitting these rhymes, you know what I'm saying, writing these rhymes, doing these shows, it's hype, man. Trust me. Thanks,
Yeah,
hip hop.
bro, we all got united through hip hop, So
you go.
like,
For sure.
That's what's
and,
up.
And a lot of
That's
the
what's
good
up.
people that I know in my life, I met through hip hop, and it's such a dope thing to be part of. Whether it's like the industry or an artist or like just as a fan, like. It's a feeling, it's a vibe, it's a culture, it's a way of life, really. You know what I mean?
It's a way of life, man. Say it that way. It's a way of
Yeah,
life, man. Real
so-
shit.
Yeah, for sure, man. But I mean, like, where do you see hip hop in the next 10 years?
50 years?
I'll say 50 years.
I'll tell you one thing.
AI, bro.
I'll tell you one thing.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to say it myself because I wasn't there.
Say 10
But yo,
years.
Camacho, tell them about that Davey shit because that was a good story for hip hop. That
Yo,
gave me some.
yo,
that gave me
listen,
some
listen,
inspiration.
listen,
You know what I'm saying?
listen,
Some,
listen.
yeah.
Shout out 6 Star Records, cause listen, we went to Peterborough for the Davey show to find out he canceled it because caravan and traffic, you know what I'm saying? He couldn't make it up. Whatever. So boom. Shout out 6 Star Records because we went from motherfucking Peterborough. We got a telly out there and shit. And then the show got canceled, so fucking we went out there and whatever, did our vibe. But fast forward. Felt he was in London the next morning, or the next night, you know what I'm saying? So we fucking flew out there to the fucking, like we just drove straight down the 401, down to the L, you know what I'm saying? Bro, it was on the res. this motherfucker literally was performing because they got rained on. It was supposed to be outdoor and shit. They got rained on, so he literally performed in a garage. Like
Who?
Dave East,
Come on,
bro.
let him know who.
Dave, my bad. Listen, I'm so authentic, bro. I'm so authentic. I talk how I normally talk and don't even realize I'm talking to everybody. So forgive me. But yo, it was a thing where because it was outdoors and it got rained on, this guy was in a garage in the res. You know what I'm saying? And he was up close and personal with his fans and shit. Like, bro, I have video content on my phone of the night. It was fucking dope. You know what I'm saying? Like, there was no stage or nothing. No stage. He was just neck and neck with his fans. Pause. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But he was close. Feel like, you know what I'm saying? It was a good vibe still. I
Intimate
fucked with
pause,
it.
you know what I'm saying? But
Man
like,
performed for
yeah.
like 2 hours, bro. Hour and a half, 2 hours. Like, give and take, the least, it was an hour and 40 minutes, hour and 45 minutes. But he was, you know what I'm saying?
Right?
Yeah,
And when you hear shit like that, bro, like I wasn't there, but I'm hyped to hear stories like that. You know what I'm saying? Because Dave East, he's not a new rapper, but he's a newer rapper. You know what I'm trying to say?
Right.
And it's like if newer rappers are still holding the culture like that, still performing like that. Because personally, I said the other day, I was like, yo, when certain MCs, like shout out to Busta Rhymes who just got, I believe, a hip hop achievement award. You know what I'm trying to say? When certain mans like that go, who are holding the culture and performing the way these people used to do? Like you said, AI or people performing over their tracks or even not even doing the Milli Vanilli shit. Like, come on, man. Like, we got to get real MCs. You know what I'm trying to say? And to hear stories like that, man, just it reestablishes my confidence in what the next 50 years of hip hop is going to be.
That's why I like the way PJ is doing it right now. He's bringing out like a Millies, you know what I mean? He's bringing out like Dave East. He's bringing out guys that could rap. Like
Shout out PJ, though. PJ got us in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, exactly. There you go. But yeah, no, I just think it's like, I think there's going to be people that are going to carry the torch, and I think that's going to be left up to the pioneers, you know? Like, Jadakiss is the guy that signed Millies, right? So he found Millies, he signed Millies, he put him on or whatever, that sort of thing. And I think, again, it's gonna come down to that. Like, you're going to have guys like Busta Rhymes who's going to have a label. They're going to have to select a younger guy. Like, that's why I like Kendrick when Kendrick
Kendrick is like, stuff like that. I agree with that. Kendrick is the old school,
Even Millie's show out here was dope.
Yeah.
Show was actually sick.
You were there? Or
I went still. I was there.
It was nice.
Yeah. Put on a good show still.
But he's got bars still.
To be honest, I didn't know who the fuck he was before the show, and I went there and I
Really,
shot
yeah?
like, all right.
But even that, that's better. You don't know who he was, and you left the show feeling
I'm
better,
saying.
but right? Impressed. You
He
know what
was
I'm saying? Like,
actually rapping, bro.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, he's got bars. Millie's got bars, man.
I didn't know who he
Millie's
was.
got bars. You know what's the one thing that I say, like with hip hop, I think like the real's coming back, you know, eventually. I think you know, you have a lot of these, I guess, newer school type of rappers are like they're recycling a lot of the old beats that like we know, like a lot of the samples and beats that we know, they're recreating these beats. You know, I've heard like, you know, It's Hot in Here, 2023 version of it. I don't even know who I think it was like one of them rappers. Fuck.
Enough people are using
But
old
enough
stuff,
people are
man,
using old
for their
shit,
debut
right?
shits.
And, you know, I think I've heard fucking Waterfalls and shit, or I don't even know. It's like everybody's resampling old music, and I think it's like it's kind of a nice ode to hip hop, ode to what we grew up on. I just say like if people are gonna do it, just do it correct, do it right. You know, I think with hip hop within the last couple of years, you know, I think it's shifted into that thing where, you know, it's back to that essence, back to that, you know, you have to have like that content and that sound. I think a lot more people are more, you know, careful with their sound, not just putting out bullshit.
The lyrics, the sound, all of it. Yeah.
I you know, like I think the cadence is starting to like kind of make
It's way back.
Yeah, a little ways back. Like even with like new school rappers, like even guys like Lil Baby and shit. Like I think Lil Baby is, you know, very lyrical and, you know, and what he spits and shit, right? But, you know,
That's the time for today, though. You know, we could sit here and talk hip hop for days, bro.
Months.
But you know, we're gonna talk about it more on the next episode. And if you guys want to hear us talking more, go back to the last episode.
Straight up,
the
yo.
first episode.
Hey, yo.
Go back to all the episodes.
Go back
Hit
to
that
last
subscribe
season.
button. Hit that subscribe
before
button.
and shit.
Yeah, subscribe, comment below. Let us know because we're gonna start kicking it into some interviews. Let us know who he wants to interview. We ask that on almost every show, so we're hoping that we're gonna see these comments. By the time we're filming this, we haven't released a new podcast yet. But by the time that this one comes out, 2 podcasts are already down. And by the way, we got more coming. So shout out to y'all. Make sure to send us your music for the next episode.
Yeah,
Local
yo.
artists,
Joining
making
in the
tracks.
conversation
Hey,
too,
yo.
man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, for the topics we're talking about. Let us know what your favorite movements are in hip hop for the last 50 years. As a fan, if you're an artist, whatever the case is, man, share it.
Hey, yo, local artists also on all of our individual fucking pages and shit. Comment fucking shit that you want to be reviewed on future episodes and shit. You know what I'm saying? Even DM us. You know what I'm saying?
Let us know.
All of us individually.
We are listening to you. Trust me.
Yeah.
So shout out to you guys for listening to us.
Yeah.
We're ready to rock with you guys. We got some shows coming up, some albums that are going to be released. We got merch that's coming down the pipeline, and we got an anniversary next. Yo, we got a lot of stuff coming. So shout out to y'all. Shout out to Hollywood on the ones.
Big up Hollywood.
Shout out Vincey Prince is not here right now.
Big up, brother Vince. You know.
Yes, sir.
Peace.
Peace, love, and
Yeah,
respect,
next
yo.
time.
We out.